One of the things I really wanted to do when I visited Cape Coast was to make a local meal. So on this day, I went to the market with my friend Mandy. We went to get some items that we were going to use to make the food. So here we went to the Abura market and she was buying some cocoyams for a recipe that she was going to create later on. And here we are buying Kenkey. Guys, this kinky was so soft, it was hot, it was moist. It's the best kinky I've eaten in my life. I'm not even joking. So after we got a few things and then we headed to the Elmina fishing area to get fresh fish to make the recipe. As someone who comes from Kumasi, I haven't really had fresh fish. It's either frozen fish, smoked fish, or dried fish. So I was really excited to taste the difference between fish that has been caught fresh and fish that has been refrigerated over time. There wasn't a lot to see, unfortunately. I think it was a Sunday, so I don't know whether the fishermen were resting, but all the boats were ashore, and most of the fish that we found here were sardine fish and then mackerel. So we went to a different side of Elmina to go for the fishes. And guys, I've never seen so many varieties in my life. As I said, I'm from Kumasi, so this scene is not something you see every single day. And the fishes were so affordable. Oh my goodness. So I bought these small tilapias and I was going to make what we call apature. I mean, my mom said there's a different type that's used to make apature. I thought this was the one. So I bought it. The whole bunch is 150 cedis, so I was taking 50 cedis of that. And then we got three of these large fishes. Trust me, the camera is not doing justice to it for I think 200 cedis. And after they were done dressing it and cutting it, it was a lot. And that is what we're going to be using to make our Fante Fante. So Fante Fante, also known as Ntitii or Fisherman stew, is basically a tomato-based stew that is made with fresh fish. So we're going to start by seasoning our fish. So I'm going to leave all the ingredients and the spices that were used in the description and on the screen. So here the spices they've been added to the fish. You can see the fish is looking very plump and then very fresh and very juicy. We also decided to add some pepper to it because we wanted the fish to be spicy. So at this point, what we did was we strained it because you can see that there's still a little bit of water in there. So we put that into a sieve and then the water drained out of it because we don't want the fish to be too moist because we're going to coat it with flour. So we didn't want it to be too moist, otherwise it's just gonna get soft. Then you're going to go ahead and prep your vegetables. So for the vegetables, we went a little bit different from the traditional Fante Fante, right? We wanted to add more vegetables because we are both fit farm people. So she wanted that you always want vegetables in the food, and I always want vegetables in my food. I've watched several Fante Fante recipes. It's not every recipe that has like extra vegetables like cucumber or bell peppers or carrots and all of that, but it's a preference of ours. So I'm just going to make that disclaimer that this is not how it is made traditionally. So here we have our ingredients, our vegetables. We have tomatoes, we have green and yellow bell pepper, we have cucumber, we have then habanero, and then we have our onions and carrots, right? I'm going to wash this thoroughly. We washed it with vinegar. When you buy your vegetables from the market, please wash it well because you don't know where it's been. It's gone through several processes like harvesting, storage, transportation to get into the market before you bought it. So wash it thoroughly before you consume it, especially if it's something that you're not going to apply heat to. It's very, very important. So we are washing our ingredients. And also another disclaimer, traditionally, right, Fante Fante is made with palm oil. All the recipes I've seen online, I think almost all the recipes I've seen online there, it's made with palm oil, but we decided to use vegetable oil because once again, the host or the person making it wanted to use vegetable oil. And trust me, it came out great. It was so delicious. I enjoyed it. You're going to see my reaction at the end of the video. So stay and stay and watch this entire video so that you can see how the food tasted. I'm going to give you a review of how the food tasted. So here I'm chopping all our vegetables. Here I'm chopping the onions. And they're also going to chop the tomatoes. We use the white onions, but it doesn't really matter. You can use red onions if you want. are going to start by putting some oil into our pan. As I said, we use vegetable oil. And also, it's not all the recipes that the fish is fried, right? There are people that would just marinate the fish or season the fish and just put it directly in the stew. But then sometimes if you do that, because the stew is going to soak up a lot of the meat, it ends up breaking. So for our recipe, we decided to, coat it with some flour that has been also, we've added some seasoning to it. I'll leave the details in the description. And then we added the flour to the fish and then we fried it. And this is one of the best ways to add flour to your fish, especially if you want to keep some of the flour for a later use so that you don't leave the smell of the fish in the flour. So you just get a sieve and then you just put some of the flour in the sieve and put it all over the fish. So this is our fish, and you can see that it's looking very firm because of the fact that we added the flour to it, and it was already smelling so good at this point. So when the fish was ready, we decided to put the fish aside on a paper towel so that all the oil can drain from it, and then we proceeded to continue with the stew. So here is everything we are going to be using for the stew. We have our vegetables, we have the fish, we have our fish powder, and then our shrimp powder. We're going to start by taking out some of the oil from the fish. The oil that we used in frying the fish, I'm going to pour some away because that was a lot. And then I'm going to add in our chopped onions or our sliced onions. That's going to be the base for the stew. Then next, we're also going to put in the chopped tomatoes and the pepper. So as I said, some people decide to fry this one, but we decided to chop everything because we wanted it to be quicker. So we also have some sliced garlic here as well. So in this we have onions, pepper, tomatoes, and then garlic as the mixture. I'm going to give this a good stir and then cover it till it's about half cooked. Then we continue with the process. So from what you saw, we added some seasoning, all-purpose seasoning, and then some turmeric paste. That is optional. That's something that we had available, so we decided to add to it. Now we've added some basil, and as you can see, the stew is like half cooked. So we added in our shrimp powder and then our fish powder. And let me tell you, this instantly added so much flavor and aroma to the stew. I've personally decided to try this method with even my simple tomato based stews. Like add shrimp powder and then fish powder to it. And guys, I'm putting you on game. Go and try it and see how much difference it makes in your stews. And now to the best part, the part where we add in the fish, the fried fish, and we're almost done. At this point, you can leave it here. As I said, the vegetable part is not done traditionally. It's something that we preferred, so you can take that out completely. You also added some habanero pepper because we like pepper, of course. And finally, our vegetables went in. So we have red, green, and yellow bell peppers and some cucumber. You can also add some chopped onions for extra crunch. But we added it at the end of the stew because we wanted it to still be crunchy. We didn't want it to be like soft. We wanted it to be crunchy, so that's why it was added at the end of the video or the recipe. So basically, we are done. I'm going to allow this to sit for a few minutes. and for the vegetables and the stew to marry, and then we are done. And guys, tell me why I'm sitting here editing and recording a voiceover and I'm still salivating because this stew was good. And I am not exaggerating. This stew was so good. And of course, we served it with there are several ways you can eat this stew. You can eat it with banku, you can eat it with um kenkey, you can eat it with rice, but we decided to serve ours with Fante Kenkey. So what we are doing here is just adding some spring onions for garnishing, right? So we are done, and this took us about 45 minutes, right? And we had already prepped the fish from the market, so that wasn't added to the time. So we've sliced our we sliced our kenkey because we are bougie, we are extra, okay? And we are going to add in the fish and the stew. And oh my god, this combo, I actually don't like banku or kenkey with stew because I'm like, it does not go together. It doesn't belong together. Let me know what you think in the comments. Stew goes with rice, okay? But oh my god, I have changed my mind completely. I would eat Fante Fante and kenkey on any day, on any given day. You also added some avocado, and you know that we weren't joking, okay? And guys, I tasted this food and the way the fish melted in my mouth. So it's tasting time. We are done. Our food is looking so good, as you can see. So this is Fante Fante served with kenkey and then avocado. So let's dive in. The kenkey is so soft. Wow, this is nice. Okay, so kenkey first, then we go in with. I'm already salivating. Hmm. So the fish has been fried and coated in flour, and then it's been fried. And then the stew also fried. And then there's a baby in my video.